a bright and sunny day. Everything just feels so good today. You know what I'm saying? I just see a new light. You know what I'm saying? I can see the trees. I'm not blind anymore. Since I met you, Jesus Christ. See, there's a smile on my face that comes from within, from up above. I've been so alone. Yeah. I've been so let down. Some of my closest family and friends, they could not be found. Yeah. I called on them day and night, got no answer. They didn't help me out. But when I called on Jesus, his line was clear. Answer my call and wipe away every one of my tears. He held me in his strong, tender arms and loved me so well, gentle and warm. Gave me his peace that comes from within. Loose my shackles and set me free from sin. Everything is so brand new. Yeah. Everything it feels just fine. Oh, fine. Since I met you, Jesus Christ, everything is so divine. Oh, got into some trouble, yeah, that I wasn't looking for. No, I called myself a lawyer. He looked at my chart and said, ain't nothing I can do for you. But then I called on attorney Jesus. He took my case and touched the judge's mind. See, my God, he worked out all of my time. The doctor in the sick room in jail, he will go your best. He healed the sick and raised the dead. 5,000 he fed with a little bit of fish and bread. He'll do for you what you will allow him to do. That's why I can say, yeah, everything is so brand new. Everything, it feels just fine. Since I met you, Jesus Christ, yeah, everything is so divine. Yeah, everything is so brand new. It's so brand new to me. Everything, it feels just fine. Everything, it feels just fine. Since I met you, Jesus. Since you became my Lord, everything is so divine. It's just so divine. Since I met you, Jesus. Since I met you, you picked me up. You turned me around. I just can't stop praising your name. Since I met you, you've been my friend. I love you, Jesus. I love you, Jesus. I love you, Jesus. You are my Lord. You picked me up. You turned me around. You placed my feet on solid ground. I no longer worry. I no longer fret. 'Cause I know that you never failed me yet. I met you, Jesus. I met you, Jesus. I met you, Jesus. I met you, Jesus. You've been so good. You've been so good. You've been so good to me. You've been so good to me. Jesus Christ, since I met you, Jesus. I love you. Since I met you, Jesus. I love you, Jesus. You are my Lord. You are my Savior. Since I met you. You know, it's such a bright.
Hello, everyone. This is Moon Goddess 777 coming at you on this early Thursday morning. Happy Thursday. Thursday. Shango Day. Happy Shango Day. Mama Oya Day. Thursday. What we got going on? Is it the full moon time? Let's see. I think it is. I think it is in Leo. Mm, yeah, let me get to it. What's in that? Mm, yeah, it is. I think isn't it the full moon in Leo? I mean, not full moon, but the new moon, right? I think it's the new moon, right? Make sure. You know what? And I got a farmer's almanac thing too. I have that. I'm tripping. So waxing crescent. Mm, I got that. I didn't. I don't. I forgot I had it because I be trying to plant and grow and till the ground and all that stuff. I had So I got the moon and garden, and this Indian lady hooked me up with that because I was out there planning for the community when I was helping them grow a garden. So it actually tells you when you can plant and grow. I don't know, y'all can't see that, but anyway, it's actually 18. It tell you exactly what the moon phase is, and it say I can plant what bananas on this day. It say it's a Leo, the descending. The moon is descending. What? It's already Friday. Yeah, it is Friday. Friday morning. My bad, y'all. I'm tripping. This where I'm at. It time be moving fast. My bad, y'all. It is Friday morning. Friday. And it is it say I can plant fruit and seeds, fruit tree, cherry tree, strawberry, plant tomatoes, zucchini, peas, lentils, wheat, and coriander and nuts. You can transplant, mold, cut, clone, plant. Um, can I work the soil? You can work the soil today. You can out the soil and you can trim. It said what to avoid today is to sowing and grafting. And I got exactly what I can plant. It's actually called and today is a descending moon and it's in Leo. And you plant according to the moon. So the moon means a lot. Yep. So it's gonna be a descending moon for the next 2 days. Yep. Yeah. So I'm just up here. I was bored. I was trying to write, but my chat box, I was trying to write. I was using this AI and they want to start acting crazy. So I was like, let me get up here. I was writing and then I decided to come up here. I know everybody probably sleep or doing something else. If you got you somebody cuddled up with you tonight, the wee hours of the morning. I'm alone with my dog and my cat. It's like, but that's not such a bad thing. Um, because my pets are really, really seem to be very trustworthy these days. Um, I don't know. I'm like to each his own, but for me, I'm working on myself right now, so I don't have time for to be in the state we in right now, using my energy trying to save somebody else and build them up and and tell them that they, I'm doing all I can now to go within and fix me. I done it, and that's to each his own. But I'm not at that place. I am really focused on loving me, and this is the Venus day, y'all. Happy Venus day. I take that back. It's the love day, the desires and all that. Venus is uh the Libra and the constellation of what is it, Libra and they say Taurus at night, Libra during the day. But honey, I'm working on loving me, pouring into me, getting myself right, becoming the dying on that cross and letting go of this ego, because it's something else dealing with yourself. You can be your best friend and your worst enemy, So, and I really didn't get up here and talk about that Alabama stuff either, because it's good. The good thing about it, yeah, we pulled together and stuff, and that's good. And my son told me I better not say this, but I'm gonna speak the truth. And he told me that he seen. I'm not trying to discredit nobody. I don't hate nobody. I'm really above that skin color thing at this point. Like, I know that they created it, but like they said, they created all these programs, and it basically coming from the patriarchy. We as women and men need to pull together, but a lot of times they have told the men in our society that they are the leaders and that we supposed to submit to them, and the woman is an evil, nasty creature that's untrustworthy and very what very shallow minded and wishy washy and very emotional. So we have believed that. So a lot of us as women have become that individual that they talk about in these religious books. We have become that weak, uh, wishy washy, mentally ill, possessed, bitter, demonic woman that they have actually, how they say when somebody call you a name, once you answer it, that's who you are. Well, we have actually, a lot of us have actually answered to that. And I know in times past when I was asleep, even when I was in church and stuff like that, into the religious thing, that religion is no good for no woman. I mean, I don't know about the men, because maybe they need some sort of control or whatever, but then again, that makes them more bitter towards a woman, and it's not their fault. It's not the woman's fault. It's not the man's fault. These are institutions that were done by design to take us away from source and going from within. But I just mm, I have opportunities, but to me they ain't no really opportunities. It's like traps. That's what I'm writing about. It's like traps to get you back. I'm talking about me personally. It's like traps to get you back entangled into some bullshit, and I ain't got time for it. I'm trying to get shed off these layers and get even more freer than what I already am. I'm trying to be so free. I don't went to damn heaven down in the ocean, not I'm talking about spiritually where I'm just floating. Like I'm trying to let go of all this stuff that's so easily beset me. My journey has been going from the material. And the only reason I wanted material things because I know I needed it in this system to take care of myself and my family. And also I didn't want to be, out here having to do things like prostitution and different things, which I don't knock it. I mean, I've got women that's into the adult business and into the exotic dancing and all that, but that was nothing I wanted to do. Maybe I got some situations going on with my eighth house because I'm there. I can be, real fun behind closed doors when I'm with, a particular person. But as far as like just I couldn't do it. And it don't make me better than nobody else because we are all confused about this holier than thou mess too. Because you can be too holy and you can be too down caught up into your desires. You have to be balanced. So it's no miss goody two shoes and all this and that they lie to us about it, all that. The men and women, it's not being always around here. It's a bunch of vampire energy draining local people operating in the same persona. So I don't want them to, keep going through the bands and trying to pull my door and stuff and doing it different business and whatnot. I just say, being authentic to yourself. I'm choosing this. I've been choosing this lifestyle for a while, and it's working out for me. And I ain't trying to say everybody got to do like I'm doing, but if you want to do like I'm doing, and you want to be disciplined and really dive deep within you, then I'll show you how. Hey, I mean, I will. And I can express that through art of writing and stuff like that, through demonstrations and actually walking the walk. Not just talking the talk, just walking the walk. And I'm still learning. Like somebody said, you don't ever know all things. You don't never you can you if you know everything, then you a fool. So and I'm like I said, I'm not into that color thing. At this point I'm above that. I know it does exist because of these systems of divide and conquer, the patriarchal systems of divide the women from the men, divide women of other races from women of other races. But we all done been through some shit. So I'm just gonna look at this because I had it on my live the other day and I didn't get to it. But this is Yvette Campbell talking about that movie, The Blind Side. And I'm gonna say this can happen with people of your own culture too. It's a greed spirit, a capitalistic spirit. And yeah, we do have racism that they have established. Black and white was created in like the 15, 1600s. But at the same time, we do have people that's color struck and colorism and racism, and people think they better than people because of their skin color. But this movie, I was gonna talk about it, but I didn't get to it because YouTube took my first live that I was doing about Maui and the history of Maui and how the United States has stolen Maui, and the indigenous people was pushed out because of the land grabs from the rich. And I mentioned Oprah and Zuckerberg and all them, and then they took the first one, so I redid it. And I hope y'all watch it, like and share and subscribe. I'm just up here talking right now, but I'm gonna just play a little bit of this because I didn't do it the last time, and I'm just gonna play a little bit of it. But like I said, it's bad. This is called A Blind Side, and she's doing it from a point of white saviorism, but at the same time, he don't like the way they made him look in that movie. He been complaining about it. I didn't know he was complaining about it. I know I was married when it came out, and my ex just loved this movie. And like I said in my other life, it's because him being a little boy, my ex, he was going through some things at home, but he was an awesome ball player, and they helped him, took him to Bojangles, and they picked him up and stuff like that. And like I used to tell him, I said, anybody, it don't matter what color they are. If they see they can benefit something from you and you got a skill, of course they will do that. That don't necessarily mean that they say that they up with you, but if people can see that you have potential and they can do it off based off of that. It may or may not be pure intention, but a lot of times when people see they can get something out of you, they gonna monopolize off of that, and it don't even matter what color they are. Cause hell, we can't just be like, oh, it's the white man and the white man. We got people that in our own culture that's just as bad. They actually complain about, oh, the white man is oppressing me, but when they get power, they oppress other people that look like them and who have their foot on their necks. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't even gonna sit here and be like, oh, it's all just other cultures. No, some of us do this to our own people. But I'm gonna play a little bit of this. Oh shit.
Shut up. And I
Most people have no clue that in 2023, the best way to make money on Amazon is not with physical.
I'll bring that back. Part of the stuff, the thing that
This is Yvette Campbell. I'm fast forwarding
talking about, if you're talking about
So this is Yvette Campbell, and she is talking about The Blind Side, and it's called The Blind Side and White Saviorism. I'm just gonna look at a little bit of it.
slavery, right? If that's what you're talking about, then we're talking about building the country and not reaping the fruit. If you're talking about people that work for you, if you're talking about whatever you're talking about, if you're talking about music, we don't have the contracts, but we do it, we invent the sound, and whatever you're talking about, people talk about for the culture. Hey, whatever you're talking about, you can kind of you can kind of you can say, you can talk about us in the context of a harvest group. Now, there's no other, and this is alleged, we do not know, this is allegedly something that came out. You all remember the movie. Let me provide the context. MichealOher, former NFL tackle known for The Blind Side, sues to end, I don't even know how to pronounce their last name, child, to Tuohy's conservatorship. Now, the movie that we were told is that the man was adopted. He was taken into the white people house, and they loved him and made him great, which had a lot of political implications about the goodness of whiteness. That's what we were told. He was the son. That's their baby. This is our black son. I'm coming in, the white savior, to take over this child who is being treated, this black boy who's been treated wrong in the world. That's what the movie was. Sandra Bullock. Before we get into the article, those of you need to remember that this was a Oscar-winning performance for her, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now I want to just get into the backdrop for those who do not know. So let's just talk about what happened. It says O'Her also asked in the petition that the Tuohy's, somebody tell me how to pronounce, be sanctioned and required to pay both compensatory and punitive damages to the court. So it wasn't what we thought, was it? That movie was a whole lot. He ain't never liked the movie. To his credit, I saw somebody say, well, why he ain't come out sooner? He has never liked that movie. He ain't never. And people were not prepared to hear him talk about why he didn't like the movie. Even the guy who played him in the movie told him to shut up. And I'll bring that back. Part of the thing that happens is that we're unwilling to support each other when we speak truth. But let's keep going. MichealOher, the former NFL tackle known for being the inspiration.
Yeah, she right. She said we be unwilling to support it. We don't want to hear the truth. We'll hear a lie all day long and carry it on for, they centuries and thousands of years. Somebody tell you the truth about it, you get all emotional and stuff, get all emotional.
For the movie The Blind Side filed a petition Monday in Tennessee probate a court accusing Sean and Leanne. What'd you say it was? 2C. Thank you, fam. 2C. I sure do appreciate you. I sure do appreciate you. Of lying to him about having him sign papers, making them his conservators rather than his adoptive parents.
Damn.
2 decades ago. So they said, baby, you our family. We always want you to be one of us. You're going to be adopted. Really and truthfully, they gave y'all control of his money and assets and everything. In the petition filed Monday in Shelby County Probate Court, O'Her asked for the conservatorship.
Look, and I heard they got money. They ain't no broke people. Them people had, I think when he came along, they already had money. But I guess, greed and stuff, allegedly. And I thought they adopted him. They didn't adopt him. They had him under conservatorship. Allegedly, he signed it. Didn't know what it was. He didn't know it was a conservatorship. So yeah, it was what Tupac said. What Tupac said in his interview with some back in the day. He said, "Trust no one. Don't matter if they look like you. Shoot, when it comes
to be terminated, along with asking for a full accounting of the money earned off the use of his name and story. He also asked to be paid what he is due along with interest." Now, I want to say something to the people before we go on, and we will go on. I want to say something to the people who are going to say, well, they only got paid. They didn't really make any money off the movie, or they only got paid $200,000 for the movie. You don't understand social capital. These people were able to use that movie to go into speaking fees, to consult. They could consult for schools if they wanted to. I don't even know everything that they did.
And I didn't even realize that they pay these people, these public speakers and stuff, get paid up to $75,000, $100,000 just to go and speak some stuff that they done plagiarized from somebody else. I mean, not all of them, but some of these people, they don't be talking about nothing. They just be repeating the same shit over and over again. No new information, no action. They just talking, and they get paid all this money because people, especially our people, we are moved by preachers and people that can speak well and orate good and move our emotions. It's not hard. It's not very hard to scare my people. That's why they are $4 trillion spending power. Like somebody else was saying, a lot of people was saying it's not hard. All you gotta do is be able to move emotions and speak right and sell a story. Or don't even gotta tell the truth. Yeah. I mean, for instance, look at I ain't gonna call everybody name, but just a few of them. I mean, these people do the most horrendous, the stuff they do contradicts everything they say. I mean, and it's been a couple of women to slip through that thing. But we worship Jesus Christ, and we worship the male in this patriarchal society. So a lot of times it's men. There be a few women that slip by, but they get their ass quick. But them men, they still going. A lot of them. If they don't do nothing, as they get too caught up in like messing with a child or grape or something like that. What's his name? I can't even think of that man name that got accused of raping his assaulting his girlfriend daughter. Polite. Yeah, and he ain't the only one. This is all across the board. Even in the other cultures and stuff, like with the men in the other cultures, even like we know politicians do the same crap. They sell a lie and this wolf in sheep clothing. I'm just saying all across the board. Skin color, it matter, but it don't. It do, but it don't. You got wolves and sheep clothing, all colors.
I just know the possibility that opens up in terms of whiteness. They already had their kids this little private school.
Yeah,
This
they
little segregated private school. The school, I'm gonna bring up an article. Y'all gonna have to read it on your own time. And I will, and we have to talk about that at some point later because they will already had their schools. This little school.
Yeah,
The
y'all.
name.
This is Yvette Campbell. She's one of the ladies that called out Boyce Watkins too about he stole. It was Michi X, Amadaya, Queen Amadaya Shakur, Vicky Dillard, and I'm sure some other women, but it was Yvette Campbell, Michi X, Queen Amadaya Shakur, Vicky Dillard, and I'm sure, like I said, repeating several other women that he stole their ideas, didn't give them credit for, didn't pay them, and actually just like use their energies to build whatever he was building as far as a financial guru or whatever. But these ladies came at him like full throttle. I mean, and now it looked like he getting his karma, but he didn't get him, and that happens a lot. Most of the time, it's a woman behind these big ideas, and they don't get credit for it. It's just they use a lot of the women as an energy source, and this is all across the board. Now, I think the other cultures have more power and money to be able to appreciate them more, but them women still do a lot and take up the slack too. But in our culture, our men really don't have the power and money. They kind of at the bottom. It's a few of them that's at the one, at the one, what is it, the 10% or something? I mean, that everybody want to be with and enjoy. Because just because they got some money and power, don't mean I want to be pimp. You know what I'm saying? That shit. I done been there, done that, tried, done dated millionaires and all that, and no thank you. Mm-mm. It's too much. It's too much of my opinion of soul stuff. Like you gotta, they want your soul, your body, your mind. I mean, they can do whatever they want. You can't even hardly go out of the house, or you. Anyway, let me play this.
The claim to fame of the school they were at. The claim to fame is that it won a case on behalf of being segregated and being away from the Negroes. You got to think about that. And now they make a movie based on a woman who has her kids at this little school born out of that fought for segregation to stay away from the Negro. She was able to get this boy in here. Oh, I gotta slow down, but child, this is ugly. He accuses the Tuohys of enriching themselves at his expense by continuing to falsely and publicly represent themselves as his adoptive parents to the date of the filing of this petition. Now, what that also says is that I done asked y'all in private. To kind of remove this conservatorship because they came out and they said, oh, if that's what he wants, we just want what's best for him. No, nobody takes you to court before saying in private, hey, about that money and about all the money you've been getting. I need an account. I need a full account, and I need this thing gone. You said no. So don't act like you just lovey-dovey now. Let me tell you. Years ago, my best friend said to me, I was talking to her about something. I can't remember what. And she said, Yvette, the thing you don't understand in terms of, you seem naive sometimes. Everybody that you come across has a plan for you. right? Like the people who you like, I'm not talking about somebody who says, "Hey, what's up, Yvette? I like what you've been doing." I'm talking about before that. It's like if somebody
Mm-hmm.
comes to you, a lot of times they have a plan for you and your life and how you can benefit them.
Yeah.
And what happens, and we don't even understand this in terms of how we discuss whiteness, is they have a plan for this young man and how he's going to benefit them. We don't think people can be that diabolical. But let's continue with the lawsuit and just see let's see what he had to say. Oher discovered this lie to his chagrin and embarrassment in February of 2023. How long this man been thinking he was a child of these people? He's under conservatorship. When he learned that the conservatorship to which he consented on the basis that doing so would make him a member of the Tuohy, the Tuohy, did y'all say Tuohy? Family, in fact, provided him no familiar relationship with the Tuohys. That means he doesn't get inheritance or anything. They get from him. Hold on. We have talked a lot in this show about inheritance, right? So him being an adoptive child would mean that at some point he would, as a child, like he may get mentioned in the will, they're going to leave it in an inheritance. But guess what? The conservatorship means it goes the opposite way. We get to take from you, harvest group person. We get to allegedly steal from you, harvest group person, and you get nothing from us. So you're not a real child, but we're going to present you that way in the media as a real child. But really and truthfully, we are going to bank on this white savior stuff. We are going to ride this to the hilt that we took in this little Negro child. Y'all remember how they had him in the movie?
Yeah.
Y'all remember how they had him in the movie? He was what? Let me bring this. I gotta find this. They had him walking in the dark, wet and soggy. The brother was soggy in the rain, just walking in the dark. And the white lady with the blonde hair came in at Sandra Bullock and said, "Negro, you don't need to be. Who do you know this Negro son? Cause he walking around and he wet and he's soggy." Y'all remember this?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they did. But they had it like, "You my child. I love you like a child." No, I'm going to take everything you got to give allegedly. Oher, who has never been a fan of the movie about his life, also asked in the petition that the Tuohys be sanctioned and required to pay both compensatory and punitive. Yeah, via her personal website, her husband told the Daily Memphian the conservatorship was done to satisfy the NCAA as Oher considered the Tuohy's alma mater, Mississippi, for college. Now, let me tell you something. You could have adopted that boy and satisfied all of that. You did not need that to satisfy that. But in order to make sure that you got everything, all the money and stuff, y'all remember in the movie, you used the big black son defended the white mama against the gang and all that. It was white saviorism at its worst. But they ain't no these ain't real parents, ain't no inheritance. But that's gonna be a great story. We're gonna tell them how we raised the Negro. But let me just get through here. Sean Tuohy, is that his name? Child. Okay, yeah. Sean Tuohy said he and his wife would end the conservatorship if that's what Oher wants. You know that's what he wants. This ain't nothing new to you. If you in court, you know that's what he wants. Ain't nobody landed in the court shop for the most part. If it ain't a credit card bill, it's like, dang, they took me to court. No, if it's something like this, you ain't shocked. It's upsetting to think we would make money off any of our children. He's not your child. He just said he's not adopted. Stop talking about him as a child. He just said he wasn't adopted. What do you mean, my children? But we're going to love Michael at 37 just like we loved them at 16. Not enough to make him your child, your real child.
That's crazy.
Allegedly, that's what he's saying. The movie was nominated for an Oscar, and Sandra Bullock won the Academy Award for her portrayal of Leigh Ann Tuohy. Other accusations, Oher accuses the Tuohys of never taking legal action to assume custody from the Tennessee Department of Human Services before he turned 18. The conservatorship paperwork was filed months after Oher turned.
So that's a mess. That's a mess. It's a mess. Y'all, it's Yvette Campbell. Y'all, it's Yvette. So you can go look at it. It's called The Blind Side, White Saviorism, and it'll tell you all about her aspect. I think she really had a good view on the the blind side and how she was saying how it put a damper on. I want to play some more of this. She even talked about reparations.
18 in May 2004. So they said you can do what you want to do right now. So we're gonna make sure you do what we need you to do right now. O'Her also alleges that the Tuohys had him sign paperwork almost immediately after he moved in as part of the adoption process. O'Her says he was falsely advised that it would be called conservatorship because he was already 18, but the intent was adoption. So they fooled you. Well, we can't really adopt you because you over 18. We can't really adopt you because you over 18. So what we gonna do, see, we just gonna it's called a conservatorship. Oh, they take advantage of ignorance, right? And I'm not saying nothing bad about him. He ain't supposed to know at that age. You're not supposed to know. You shouldn't have to know what that is. You should be able to trust adults not to take advantage of you and try to do a movie and all this sorts of stuff. You should be able to do that, but guess what? You can't. And we have to talk about, we're going to get to talking about the role that white saviorism has in Adolf politics. There's a role here. There's a role here for politics. This isn't just something where they just get to take advantage of one man. There's a reason why. Let me tell you something. There's a reason why white America, because we didn't do this. There's a reason why white America and POC America elevated this to an Oscar-worthy movie in terms of Sandra Bullock winning that. There's a reason why this is part of the American psyche, because it makes white people saviors as opposed to oppressors, right? It makes them, we are your saviors, we are not your oppressors, and we are good people. And that becomes part of the psyche. Look at what we do. We take in little nigglets we find on the street. That's what they be saying. That's what they be thinking. Look at how good we are. It reinforces their sense of goodness. Now, we are in a country where we built the country. We cannot access the American life, but this shows the goodness of white folk to take in the little Negro child, right? And just, we gonna love him. And that proves that we are good people. And America don't need to do nothing because we good people. A book based on O'Her's life was released in September 2006. The author, Michael Lewis, was described in the petition as a childhood friend of Sean Tuohy's. Or Tuohy's, whatever. I'm tired of this name. Tuohy's, y'all said. The petition alleges O'Her's conservators began contract negotiations for movie rights. The petition alleges a deal was reached to pay the Tuohy's plus children, Sean Jr. and Collins, $225,000 plus 2.5% of future defined net proceeds hinging on O'Her's signature.
Damn, they negotiated a nice contract. Wow. They say he only got 14,000.
A contract titled Life Story Rights Agreement was purportedly signed by Michael O'Her and dated April 20th, 2007, according to the petition. The petition says O'Her believes the signature is similar to his own, but that he at no time ever willingly or knowingly signed this document, and nobody ever presented this contract to him with an explanation that he was signing such a document. They said, sign your name for the school field trip. This is just some stuff. In the petition, O'Her asked for a full accounting of his assets and how they...
Woo! Gotta laugh at that. Look, that's how them people be doing. Them people gonna get them checks on it when they think they slow. They be just getting them to sign stuff. Them see now people, them disabled people, they be doing them like that. It ain't fun. It's just the way she laughs. Too. Oh Lord.
Were used considering his life story produced millions of dollars, and he received nothing for rights to something that would not have existed without him. Harvest Group. Listen, when you are a Harvest Group, people take and extract and they leave you as a shell of yourself with nothing. We are a Harvest Group. And let me just say something. You don't come out. This is why I talk so much about politics. You do not come out of being a harvest group through individuality. You know, it's funny. We always like to root for Jay-Z. Well, we're gonna root for him. You know, we gonna finally have somebody, we're gonna have somebody, a multi-millionaire billionaire. He's gonna be one of the big dogs. He gonna be in the room with the NFL. He got in the room with the NFL and just said it's time for Kaepernick to stop kneeling because we got stuff to do. Then when he did that, he just did it so he could get the contract to have Rihanna do a that was the worst. That's the worst halftime show I've ever seen. I'm sorry, don't come at me. But like he signed it so he could have his artists be at the halftime. So streams and records, whatever he gets out of that, he gets. He signed it for himself. Now I have, you know, I have said some good things and some criticism of Kaepernick kneeling. But one thing I will not say is that should have been ended because Jay-Z, one man came in and said, aren't we past kneeling? Who are you to say that we're past anything? But it has to be collective. If you just root for one man here and one person there and one person there and say for the culture, you're going to be in a world of trouble. Because it ain't about just for the culture. It's about for the group. No. For uplift of the group. There is no for the culture. You can see the Super Bowl, you can pay whoever they want to be there or not pay. I don't think they pay for halftime shows. But ain't nobody finna do that. That was just for Jay-Z. We moved past kneeling. Who are you to tell me what we moved past? Who are you? You are nobody to me. But now to these Negroes, he's a god. But let me go to this last one.
She brought that in smooth. She showed it. And she right. Yeah, where brought that in real nice and smooth. Yeah.
This is a mess, y'all. O'Her was the 23rd overall pick in the 2009 draft out of Mississippi, and he spent his first 5 seasons with the Baltimore Ravens. He wound up playing 8 NFL seasons, including 2014 when he started 11 games for the Tennessee Titans. O'Her finished his career with 2 years in Carolina. He started 110 games and won a Super Bowl with the Ravens. He also finished second in the voting to Percy Harvin of Minnesota for the Associated Press NFL Rookie of the Year after starting all 16 games his first season at right tackle.
Welcome. I'm talking about MichealOher because I didn't really go into depth into this in my last line. This is Yvette. One sec.
Turned 37 in May. Last played in 2016. He was released in 2017 by Carolina. Right now, I want to just say something really quick. There is this idea in the white mind.
Yvette Carnell talking about The Blind Side. I listen to her. She's one of the ladies that welcome. That was with what they call him, voice walking. Where he one of the ladies that he stole ideas and stuff from. And along with Vicky Dillard and Michie X, Vicky Dillard was late to leave out from him, but it was Michie X and Queen Amadaya Shakur, the other women that they said he done took their ideas and stole from them and didn't pay them, didn't give them credit, bought their domains and all kind of stuff. So energy vampire, But she be on it. I like her, Yvette.
And the white body politic. That part of the reason that ADOS is down bad is not because of anything that white America has done. It is because we have a problem and we don't learn too good, right? So the way that you help instill that is you have a movie like this come out, and what you do is you have this family come and basically tame this man. Like we taught him everything. He didn't know what a bed was in the movie. He said, I ain't never seen one of them.
Oh God, this is up home.
You never had with your own room?
He didn't like it because they put him down so bad, like he wasn't civilized. Like that, I don't blame him. I'd have been on file some paper. He better than me, but he probably thought he really had some people that cared for him. That's how people do. They manipulate people. And it's like she said, Jay-Z and other people that look like us be doing the same. And so It's about the inside of a person, And even though that racism was created, but people it exists and these people mind is real. They think they better. Then some of them still think that black people is like not a human. So
I never had a bed. Never seen no bed. Like it's you have to domesticate this animal. And
mm,
that's the white saviorism. And so that's it's kind of like we talk about what Birth of a Nation did with the KKK. These kinds of movies do that for the white saviorism industry, right? And we all play a role. Even us, we play a role. And well, at least she took him in. At least she, and we're gonna talk about other people who played a role in white saviorism, right? It's just, you know, we talk about American descendants of slavery, and we know you and I and you people, you are people who are watching this. You know what that means. If you're ADOS now, you know what that means. For us, we built the country, we didn't benefit from it. The institution of slavery, that's what it means. For them, no, it means something different. It means these people are slaves. Like, why should I? Why should I feel the need to give them anything? They're lucky to be in my home. We are characters to them. Like, understand me when I say this. Like, please understand me when I say this. We are characters to them. That means we have a usefulness, as in we are tools. We have a usefulness, but we do not have a humanity and we do not have an agency. So he does not have a right to decide for himself, even though he's 18. You didn't put him together with attorneys who could help him decide what's best for his life. You took everything and you took it, allegedly. You took it. You took the control, the agency. We are tools for you to have a good life. Remember what we say at the beginning of this project, right? That we are not behind in a race. We are the shoes that white people use to win the race. And now people of color are putting on these shoes too to win the race, or throwing the shoes away. Say we don't need them shoes no more because white people is winning with them, right? We are never imbued with the kind of humanity that anybody is bound to respect, right? Right? That's just what it is. And it says to them, like, it's their belief too that anything is possible with their love, right? No, like anything is possible because we're good people. Not anything is possible because there are systems that make everything possible. There are the belief is anything is possible because we're white people, right? And whiteness is goodness, and it takes in stray Negroes like stray cats, right? Like the ASPCA, and because we're good, things are possible for them. And if you believe that, what happens is that you don't feel that it's necessary to do anything in particular for the Negro. You believe that you, as an individual, or the project of whiteness is the good thing for the Negro. See, these people don't probably feel guilty about nothing they did. Well, we brought you in, you with us out here, and we brought you in, and it's the goodness of the whiteness that we brought you to. We deserved everything we got because we took a Negro in, so we deserved all the monies we got. What are you talking about? We took something in conservatorship. You didn't know what you were doing. You were walking down the street very soggily. You were wet.
God
You
damn.
hadn't a clue about life, and whatever life you have is because of what we taught you and how we trained you to be civilized in civilized society. How dare you sue? I wish I could put something up in these white folks' room and their bedroom or kitchen. Oh, they calling him all kind of you want to talk about somebody's being called a name right now.
Boy.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And you gotta think about the racism in this movie. They got this little white child. They got this little white child with a clipboard teaching this big old black child, high school 18, whatever. This how you play football. You gotta think about this. This is how you play football. Now I want you to pay close attention. This is how you play football. What? You put the white child and he's up on them little stadium steps or whatever, the little beaches, what you call them? Benches, something. And he's teaching the Negro, listen, I learned how to play football at 5, but you slow. So let me teach you how to play football. Right? I mean, I everybody made money, but the guy was about. What is this? Like, do we even understand what that says about? I mean, this movie is so racist. This movie is so racist. And white people love to do these movies where they are the heroes, right? That they are the saviors. It's so paternalistic. I mean, oh my gosh. And let me just bring up, because this was a good article. I like good articles. I'm gonna bring it up in just 1 second. But let me just show you that even the guy who was in the movie was trashing him. First of all, allegedly, but first of all, TMZ hates. We all know TMZ hates Negroes. They just hate us to death, right? And you can say what you want to say about it, but that's just been apparent to me for a long time. Been apparent to a lot of other people too. So so they did an interview with the blind.
So the guy that played him told him to stop complaining. Told him to stop complaining about a movie. You're rich and famous and just move on. Yeah. Like I only think that boy got West money for that movie.
The guy who played the character in The Blind Side, the actor, and he was like, get over it. See, that's part of the reason when you talk about can't have nice things, who told you to say anything? You just acted in a role. You big peanut head man. You big milk dud Eminem. Like, who asked you, Blindside star to MichealOher, stop complaining? This is a while ago. This is like 2015 or somewhere like that. But who asked you? But see, that's the way it goes. You gotta speak out against other people when they're trying to get stuff. And look at how TMZ Sports writes this. You gotta understand how stuff is written. This is the most hateful outlet in terms of Negroes that I have ever seen. The guy who played NFL star MichealOher in The Blind Side says he understands why O'Her would have beef with the movie, but says at the end of the day, he should get over it. Now, let me just say something. Let me just say this really quickly. You don't have a right to tell somebody else who lived a life what they should get over. That's not your right. That's not your job. You played your role. It's time for you to shut up. Like you got hired to do a job, little actor man. It's time for you to shut up. You don't get to come and tell somebody how they should feel about how they are portrayed in a role, little actor milk dud man. You get to shut up. But okay, and look at how TMZ writes this. And I don't read TMZ. I only brought this up to kind of to show their racism, right? That's the only reason I brought it up. So O'Her recently, and like I said, this is a while ago. This is like years. This isn't a recent article. O'Her recently bitched about the movie to ESPN. No, it's not that. It's criticism, and it's my life. It's not your life. Saying it hurt his NFL career because it set unrealistic expectations. People look at me and they take things away from me because of a movie. They don't really see the skills and the kind of player I am. He has a right to say that. That's not bitching. That's talking about what happened in his life.
I bet they did. They thought he was slow as heck from that movie. Wow. I bet they did.
But you got this little Negro actor who come in and gonna take you in the back of you. Here come. Now actor Quinton Aaron has responded saying he understands where O'Her is coming from, but says the positive that came out of that movie far outweigh the negatives. I hope this Negro is he still working? I hope he never work again. He should. I hope I see him at Target when I go. You gotta at some point notice the amount of people's lives this movie has touched in a positive, encouraging, and inspiring manner. He doesn't even understand this is full-on propaganda. This movie is social engineering. It's not, you too stupid, you too dumb, little actor man, to see what this movie really was. It was propaganda. That's all it was. It's white savior propaganda. What are you talking about? Who asked you to talk? This movie will put you in the mindset that the system is working. Why in the world do we need reparations when we got white people this good that take in little Negro children off the street and bring them into the house and make them successful? Why in the world we need that? This is what this is about, little dumb actor man. At the end of the day, bro, you are a millionaire. You're famous. You are a Super Bowl champ. You have an amazing family that loves you. Let me say one thing. One of the things that we have brought home on this show and other shows, I know we do, Pocket Watch with JT, other people now are doing it, is that you don't know what is in his bank account. Just like I don't know what's in this little actor man's bank account. You can't speak about him being a millionaire and what he has, and he was in conservatorship. Did you even know? No. Did you?
Right. I mean, you can't tell nobody not to speak their truth. And that's what a lot of our people try to. I noticed that all my life. Even up until now, they try to shut you up from speaking your truth, and that's one thing they good for. If they getting paid or think they can benefit off of somebody, or they getting their little not even reparations, but they ain't gotta give them much, but they can sell out for anything and tell you to be quiet so they can get their piece of the pie, so they won't ruin it for them or make them look bad. They don't have no kind of, a lot of them don't have no kind of integrity, no kind of backbone, and they know it. You know, the elite know it. They'll sell out for anything. They'll sell each other out for anything, and it's sad. They don't support each other.
Did you talk to him and say, listen, as the person who played you in the role, I really want to get to the bottom, brother, of what's going on and why you so upset about it. Now, I can't say because he didn't even know he was in conservatorship until 2023. But like you, as this other ADOS, I don't know who's ADOS and who's not, so I can't say that. But as this other black man or whatever, you didn't even go to him and try to figure out, like, there is no rules here. Like, do no harm. I'm not gonna speak ill of this man. I portrayed him in the movie. That's it. But you got to try to buddy up to whiteness. Listen, you got to have to get over it. It's just too much for you to keep talking about. It's his life. It's not your life. You don't tell him when to get over it. You don't tell him what's in his bank account. Stop telling people. You got people, you don't know somebody else's life better than they know their life. Most of the time.
That's so true.
At the end of the day, bro, you are amazing Super Bowl champ. Okay, let me get past that because that's just so, he's just so dumb. He's just trying to perform for the white gays. We got a lot of people performing for the white gays, honey. They be out there. Who gives a damn about what people say or think? Who want to criticize your game, bro? That shouldn't matter. Do you play football? How do you know what should matter in the game of football? Like you are actor. Don't talk about, like, go somewhere. I'm not gonna tell you how to stand in the position when the director yells a cut or whatever he yell. I don't know, child. I'm not gonna tell you. How are you telling him? See, this stuff never gets checked. Even before we knew what was going on, allegedly.
And that actor that played MichealOher didn't really care about how that man felt. He was just worried about how it would make him look because he would have acted playing in there. So that's all that was. That's all a lot of them care about is themselves, me. They ain't considering what somebody else going through and how they might feel about something. The deep. They don't want to die just shallow. Just shallow.
Because I don't know. I'm going by what the man say. But he should never have been in conservatorship regardless. What is this? What are you talking about? Somebody is always going to have something to say, and you're not going to like. He concluded. So what you had a couple of bad seasons. I believe you got a lot more fuel in the tank. Nobody asked you though. Oh, so let's start hashing out some good ones and forget what people think about you. I got your back, brother. God bless. You these kind of people, these kind of people really work your nerves. Oh, listen. Let me go into this really quick. That was a great article. I just want to read a little bit of it because I think it gets to the heart of like what this is about. So I always look, when I see something happening, I always wonder, did anybody write anything really good about this? Because I like to read it. And most of the time I don't find it. But this Substack guy wrote something that was really good. Blinded by White, on MichealOher, the ubiquity of savior stories and why I didn't want to write about the blind side. Now, if you get a chance, go check it out yourself. You can get this one for free without subscribing to the paid Substack. But listen, he says, this isn't the first time that O'Her has critiqued other people's versions of his life. That's true. The Blind Side, a film that won Sandra Bullock an Academy Award, depicts O'Her as a lovable but helpless brute who previous to meeting the Tuohys, had never seen a bed. Remember, I said that. Barely knew how to read and did not understand that the game of football involved tackling. He didn't even know I gotta grab somebody. What you mean? I didn't even know that. How to do that? Unsurprisingly, the real MichealOher has been vocal about his concerns with the film that depicts him as merely being an empty vessel into which white benevolence could be poured. It is, however, the first time that he's taken the Tuohy family to court. When I first started my current summer series on movies about whiteness, I considered choosing The Blind Side, but ultimately decided against it. It's not that it doesn't offer a deep well of unexamined whiteness, but there are plenty of other white savior movies, as well as plenty of movies about the intersection of race, gender, and class in the South. Even more than that, I was worried that critiquing the movie would be like shooting fish in a barrel. This is the film that introduces MichealOher by listing off his physical attributes in a way that sounds eerily similar to a nature documentary. For the rest of the movie's runtime, he mostly just ambles about like Charlie Brown on a bad day, sad, helpless, and frequently wet. Didn't I call him soggy? He is all slumped shoulders and weary, ennui, and with good reason, as the movie reminds us repeatedly. He was
Oh,
failed by his family, by the school system, but most of all, the absence of rich, caring white people in his life. And let me just come out here for one moment to say that is the role of propaganda in a movie like this. The role of propaganda in a movie like this is that our lives as little nigglets on the street would be better off not if the systems were improved, not if justice in this country was improved, not if reparations were paid, but if white people would just write a check every now and again to help little Negroes on the street. If rich white people just came more into our lives and were more involved, like adopting a puppet or a little cat, like it would be much better for us. That is the role of these kinds of movies, to say, rich people, get in the lives of these people, adopt a pet, adopt a Negro. That is the job of movies like this. The job of movies like this is not, these are not benign movies. These are malignant movies. They are cancerous because they do not call into effect the job of systems. We are not oppressed right now by the KKK running through the streets and with nooses in their hands. We are oppressed by systems that are mechanized to hold us to one standard and everybody else to another. And they pathologize blackness,
yeah.
say everything is wrong with them because they look at them. They come from slaves. They never got it together. They would be better off if some more rich white people came into their life. That is detrimental to our politics. How detrimental is it? You got somebody like Michael Eric Dyson out here talking about individual reparations. That ain't nothing. That ain't nothing but the blind side on steroids. I don't know what happened to Dyson. I'll read what he said a little while ago, but that's just damaging. It is extraordinarily damaging to our politics. Let me just read a couple more snippets from this article. It's really good. Then the clouds part. On one magical, extremely cold night, which in Memphis means it was likely 72 degrees out, Michael is spotted mid-amble by Leanne, the dewy-eyed but feisty Tuohy family matriarch. She takes him home,
Yes.
removes roughly 500 throw pillows from a comically overstuffed sofa, and slowly but surely a new
I made sure your channel.
brand new Michael Tuohy is unlocked. Lay Ann teaches him how to read, play football, receive a mother's love. Suddenly, Michael's
Yes.
life is full of suburban, full of suburban creature comforts, banter with the Tuohy's precious elementary age son, and heartwarming moments of baby deer style discovery. Books,
Yeah.
family, dinners, furniture.
Yep.
Right. Meanwhile, Lay Ann walks in and out of various Shelby County conference rooms, removes her sunglasses, and fights righteous mama bear battles for her newly beloved big black son. There is talk about how I didn't change his life, he changed mine. And then in the movie's climax, Michael rewards her benevolence by fighting for her, physically protecting Leanne Tuohy's teenage daughter from lecherous threats of dangerous black men from the projects. Now, yikes, yikes, he says. But child, they was reading and stuff. And here's the thing. Like what they did with that project scene was say there's good Negroes and there's these really bad Negroes. And the extent to which we separate the good and the bad is not like what opportunities the Negroes in the ghetto. Like we don't even talk about how the ghetto, the ghetto that ADOS finds ourselves in is a product, an intentional product of whiteness. No, it's a product of not having a rich white mama and a rich white daddy in your life. It's the product of white people not bringing you close to the bosom. It's not a product of systems that intentionally kept you apart so you could be next to the factory that caused cancer. No. It's just a product. It's just a product of if white people got more involved and philanthropic, we could make more Negroes like this. It's not the system's fault. Understand that anything that says it's not the system's fault is a problem. That was my whole problem with Oprah. Like everything Oprah did, when a woman could come on Oprah, and it would be a white woman. Woman would come on Oprah and say, "Oprah, I only make $9 an hour. I don't know what to do. My hair scattered from my head. I got patches. I think I got the mange, Oprah. I got the mange." And Oprah would say, "We're gonna teach you how to deal with your day. You got to get up at 5 a.m. and just be organized for 16 hours." It was never like the system should be arranged in a way. If you work a certain amount of hours a day, you should have more money. No, Oprah never took the system to task. It was always, we got you a notebook that you can use and you can write down. And the little woman came back to the little woman come back, "Oprah, I got my notebook, and now I be moving, Oprah. I be moving, Oprah. I be moving through the day, Oprah, because I got my day arranged." And Oprah said, "Look, see what time management can do." Understand, anything that does not hold the system accountable is a problem. Anything that says the only thing we need to be better, the only thing we need to have more opportunities is for more rich white people to do charity. Like, well, Obama's keeper. Whatever it was. What was that Obama's thing? My brother's keeper, whatever. Like, that's anything that says we just need more charity from the white people. We don't need to change the justice system. We don't need to pay reparations. We just need white people to, if like Larry Dyson said, if you pay a white person $10, if you pay a white boy $20 to cut your front yard, pay a black person $50. That's individual reparations. He slid right into that, and he knows better. And we'll get to that. But I just want to get to one more quote. Anything that doesn't hold the system accountable is a problem. So you can see why I resisted writing a blindside essay. This is not subtle stuff. The movie has already been critiqued quite effectively. As MichealOher himself has pointed out repeatedly, the film was never his story. It was a story about the Tuohys. Yes, it was a version of events that flattered them the most, that offered them riches, fame, and saved their souls.
I would be mad too.
This movie teaches that whites are our reparations. The system don't need changing. They are our reparations. It's just propaganda.
Well, where my white savior at is? Where my white savior?
If they love us, anything is possible. That's what it teaches. Imagine him saying he didn't get nothing from the movie, and this movie netted $300 million. Let me tell you, that's why I keep saying Harvest Group. That's why I keep talking about it. And you can't undo that. Well, some people, Yvette, you don't know. Some people out here getting to it. Getting to what, child? You ain't gonna make no fool out of me. Now you can make some fool out of somebody else. That's their problem. That's their decision, whether or not to be a fool or not. You're not gonna make a fool out of old that. No. You ain't getting to the bag. You getting to the lie. You ain't got a lie to me. You ain't got a lie to me. But he's saying that, like,
y'all, that boy. They say that boy only got 14. Hey, December Reed. They said that boy only got $14,000 for that movie. You see how much that movie gross. Now this is a prime example of what go on in Hollywood with black actors and stuff. I heard that even some of the ones that's, considered white, because we know white and black were created in like the 1600. It's not a such thing, but the system has this code, like, that, we do know that it's real in some people's heads. Them being black, them being white, them being brown skin, dark skin. It's not, none of that existed. But, that system to keep some people down, and I guess they couldn't keep the people divided otherwise, so they use the skin color thing. But they say in Hollywood, some of them people ain't got it like we think. They said my son friend said he seen Ben Affleck a few years ago somewhere, because this guy travel all over the world. He don't just travel in the U.S. He go to Mexico and everywhere. Like, he be trying to find a perfect woman, but he ain't gonna find that perfect woman because he's got issues. I think he got mama issues. So they can go to Bermuda and finding the most submissive woman in the world ain't gonna do no good if you ain't got your, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't got yourself right, there's gonna be something wrong with her too. Everywhere he go, he done been to Taiwan everywhere. It's something wrong with a woman in Taiwan. It's something wrong with a woman in Mexico. It's something wrong with the women in shoot. He won't go to Africa, but he go to all these South American and he go to Colombia and all that. He done been to ways of that the passport brothers we talking about all the time. They get over there and think that them women gonna keep right on taking $40, and them women are up their price like 1,000 times now over there in the Dominican Republic. Yeah, he done been over there. He can't find the right woman. But I was telling my son, I was like, it ain't the women, it's him. He ain't gonna be happy with nobody because he not happy with himself. But yeah, he said he met Ben Affleck. He was crying because he said Hollywood won't pay him enough. This was just a few years ago. So you know if them white people crying like that, you know they are not gonna pay. They're not paying them black people what we think. I think they got a credit card. You know, because you know how we had them credit cards and they have a certain limit on it. And if they don't do what they supposed to do and tap dance how they supposed to, they gonna cut that. They gonna cut that card off. Yeah, I believe they got an unlimited credit line. I don't believe they making that kind of money. Cause why haven't they saved up any money since that strike? They going even the ones that was out here wearing high heel shoes and lipstick and walking down there looking crazy with the beards and stuff to me, and they going broke. So I don't know. That's a lot of money. 300. Mm. I know. I looked at that movie. I ain't even gonna front, and I didn't feel comfortable with it. But I know my ex husband. He loved it. He loved because he, like I said, when he was a little boy. He was having some hard times, but he was an awesome. I will give him credit for being an awesome ball player. He was like an All American with football, basketball, and the baseball. He could like pitch at a certain miles per hour. Where he even when we got married, he made the semi-professional football team, and I was happy as hell. I was like, I. They was like, "You gonna be traveling?" I was like, "I ain't gotta travel with him." He look, but he had got too old and wore his body out because he made the tryouts, but then the next day when practice came, he couldn't walk. Girl, I was big gaying it up, everything, doing deep tissue massage. The old boy didn't do no good. He done wore that body out. Don't wore that body. Yeah, so man. So he, as a little kid, he had a lot of white people being nice to them. And it is some white people with good hearts. It's some black people with good hearts. But a lot of time when you got a skill and stuff, people, they will take a liking to you because he made the team win a lot. I was trying to explain that to him. He really connected with this movie. I was like, this won't you out there looking like that around them folks, was it like you won't on them people like that and that because of that movie, that boy they did make that boy look like he was. I was like, this won't you, was it like they had him looking like a black radio. I like a lot of time they do stuff because they know you need to be able to win the game for them, and you make that team look good. Yeah, because we have we're so skilled in sports and dancing and athletics and stuff like that. Yeah, they'll take a liking to you, but a lot of time the intentions might not be pure. That go for anybody, across the board, not just people of other cultures or other races, but sometimes our own people oppress each other.
Like they took conservatorship. They did not make me their child. They took conservatorship and had access to whatever they had access to, brand deals, all kind of stuff using my image. Imagine how many times they used his image to do whatever they did from this movie. This is an Oscar-winning movie, and he's under conservatorship and just found out in 2023. Ooh. And let me just I mentioned MichealOher Dice. So let me bring this up. This is what I talk about. This blindside stuff is the same thing that you do when you say you believe in individual reparations. It's not about the system. It's about everybody get together and pay me $5. Well, it's got to cost you something. That ain't costing nobody nothing. They got to give you some extra. They feel good too. I went in there and there was a black woman in there. Was a black man. And, I tip them. I always tip the blacks better than I tip anybody because they've been through a lot. That's great. Do that. That's not reparations. That's you being kind. That's not reparations. But this is what you call blindside politics. And here's what he said. I just want to, since I brought him up, let me bring it up. At the end of your sermon, you do a benediction. This is somebody talking to him. interviewing him, section in which you talk about making reparations on the local and individual level, donating to groups like the United Negro College Fund. That's great, but that's not reparations. That's a donation to a charity. These people crazy. Or a scholarship program, but also to cite your example from the book, paying the black person who cuts your grass double what you pay what you ordinarily pay. That gave me pause. Good. I used to say in church, this is MichealOher Dyson now, if the sermon ain't making you a little bit uncomfortable, it ain't effective. Look, if it doesn't cost you anything, you are not really engaging in change. That's not costing nothing. If you got, think about the amount of inheritance coming down. If you pay the white guy $50, you pay the black guy $100, that didn't really cost you anything. Costing you something is changing your position on the hierarchy in America, where you're just not inheriting everything and we inherit poverty. That's not what this is. He says you're engaged in the overflow. I'm asking you to do stuff you wouldn't ordinarily do. I'm asking you to think more seriously and strategically about why you possess what you possess. No, that doesn't ask anybody to, that doesn't ask anybody to do that, Michael. That doesn't, if I can pay you just more, I'm not asking why I possess what I possess. I agree with reparations, but maybe this is my white privilege speaking. I can't imagine actually doing that. That is what I meant by an IRA, an individual reparations account. You ain't got to ask the government. You don't have to ask your local politician. This is what
y'all know that lady that go around talking about you know that lady that go around talking about how she know that white people was racist and white women and all this and that, Jane Elliott. Y'all know she was against reparations, but she go around appealing to black people emotions, making white people mad for a few days, talking about how they were to blame for all this stuff. But you don't want to be on the side of reparations. And Priscilla just called her out. Priscilla just called her out about that on Priscilla debunked her a few months ago, and she did a reaction to it, and it's really good. I would bring it up, but I know y'all attention span low, and it's time for me to get off in a little bit. But I might do that the next time. I might do a reaction to the Queen Maker debunking that lady. That lady been up there making millions and millions of dollars off of black people emotions, and she said we just Priscilla says sad how we want somebody to acknowledge us and validate us and say they did wrong. But what after that? You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of them going around doing that. Them politicians, they go around and appeal to our emotions and stuff like that and making money. Like she said, it's we a resource, an energy center, whatever they call it, $1 trillion of spending power. Shoot, even off our emotions.
Conscientious woke citizen can do. See, that's blindside.
This boy thought he had a family, and then we do it to each other. The ones that consider themselves to be the elite, blacks or whatever. It's just mess.
So let's say the white person does it. They feel great for doing it, and nothing changes. Except that person got $100 more. What $100 more gonna do in terms of your wealth level? I don't know. Listen, I don't know, and I'm just gonna end right here because I really don't know what happened to the MichealOher Dyson who said that Obama was Pharaoh and not Moses. I don't know where that man went, but I will tell you he gone. I don't know where he went, but he gone, child. He gone, gone.
What?
I'll just end on this. Listen, anything, like I said,
y'all,
you might think
he said that Obama was. Oh my God. What?
You know Snapchat, but do you really? Here's 3 things that you might not know about Snapchat ads. Did you know that 9?
Wait.
You know that more white folks for the narrative.
Oh, she got caught.
What's on your mind? The Democrats want to look like.
Yeah.
What you ordinarily pay. That gave me pause. Good. I used to say in church, this is MichealOher Dyson now, if the sermon ain't making you a little bit uncomfortable, it ain't effective. Look, if it doesn't cost you anything, you are not really engaging in change. That's not costing nothing. If you got, think about the amount of inheritance coming down. If you pay the white guy $50, you pay the black guy $100, that didn't really cost you anything. Costing you something is changing your position on the hierarchy in America, where you're just not inheriting everything and we inherit poverty. That's not what this is. He says you're engaged in the overflow. I'm asking you to do stuff you wouldn't ordinarily do. I'm asking you to think more seriously and strategically about why you possess what you possess. No, that doesn't ask anybody to, that that doesn't ask anybody to do that, Michael. That doesn't, if I can pay you just more, I'm not asking why I possess what I possess. I agree with reparations, but maybe this is my white privilege speaking. I can't imagine actually doing that. That is what I meant by an IRA, an individual reparations account. You ain't got to ask the government. You don't have to ask your local politician. This is what you, an individual, conscientious, woke citizen can do. See, that's blindside stuff. So let's say the white person does it. They feel great for doing it, and nothing changes. Except that person got $100 more. What $100 more gonna do in terms of your wealth level? I don't know. Listen, I don't know, and I'm just gonna end right here because I really don't know what happened to the Michael Eric Dyson who said that Obama was Pharaoh and not Moses. I don't know where that man went, but I will tell you he's gone.
Oh, I get it. I had to listen to that again, y'all. She trying to say low key they clone him because he's not talking like that now. Nope, because I just looked him up. Michael Eric Dyson that said that he is gone. So maybe they cloned him or something. Because I'm just saying, yeah, it might sound conspiracy theories, but if they don't want, they didn't want Joan Rivers to say what she said about allegedly. You know, when she done had a million surgeries. When she said that Michelle was a tranny and he was our first openly gay president, you notice Joan Rivers didn't make it through that surgery. And that lady done had several. So I'm just putting it out there. I'm not the only one saying this. It's been told to me by several people. They saying that. So in other words, Joan Rivers was saying that everybody know that Barack is a gay president and that Michelle is a tranny. That's what Joan Rivers said. And you know, after that, she didn't last long. And that man, Michael Eric Dawson, was saying that he wasn't Moses Barack, he was Pharaoh. And now look at all the backlash that's coming out with all the laws he done. It's like they use somebody that looked like us to slide on in, get our votes, and you see what happened. Like, ain't mean us no good, in my opinion. That's moon goddess thoughts and opinions, and for entertainment, education, and spiritual purposes.
I'll just end on this. Listen, anything, like I said, anything that rests on the benevolence of whiteness and pathologizes who we are, right? Reduces us to a character. It makes us what we don't have any agency, and it takes away our say in the story. Listen to what he's saying. He's saying, I wasn't in there. I wasn't. Listen to what Michael Morris said. He said, I wasn't in that story. I wasn't there.
And nobody listened to him. You know, he was just trying to tell them, like, this is not about me. This is about them and to glorify them. But that happens a lot. We don't support each other. And it ain't even skin color, y'all. Yeah, they created it. Yeah, it's perks for it. And yeah, people think they better than other people because of their skin color and stuff. But this is all coming from the patriarchy at the end of the day. It's all coming from the patriarchy to divide and, you know, conquer. And it ain't just hurting women. It's hurting the men too. Cause they don't know, they don't have no place to go. It's overpopulated. But they feel like they don't belong. They lied to the ones in the military that went off and fought these wars for them. They come back injured and maimed. They done experimented on them. They mentally unstable and they can't get no help. So it ain't just hurting a certain gender. It's hurting everybody. So, you know, it's just sad. It's sad that how they got us so against each other as humankind or whatever you is, reptilian man. We still on this earth together. It was a time when, you know, they say they always had slavery or whatever, but it was a different type of slavery. It was indentured where people work a certain amount of time, then they can move up and go on about their business. But I mean, it ain't nothing good gonna happen when you think just because you got certain resources and money, and the resources were free at one time. They were all free, and we lived off of the earth, and we used what we needed. You know what I'm saying? At one time we did, and it wasn't no wars. It wasn't a whole lot of wars and this mess that we seen going on for the last thousands of years, and all this, you know, divide and conquer, and we just consuming, and it's me, myself, and I don't give a daggone about nobody else and stuff like that. It won't always like that. But they wanted to wash that away. They don't want us to remember that, but they put that as a fantasy in the mythological things in Disney, and you know, it's bits and pieces in the religious books. It's bits and pieces in the Disney movies. It's bits and pieces in the books and stuff. But they want you to believe that's all fantasy and stuff. Like, there was never a time when this place, even here, was a paradise, and it was. There was never a time when we were actually beings that had the tools to use like the superheroes. It was, and it makes sense. Why would you work so hard on a group of people that you don't think that's nothing, and you don't put in the laws that they're not even valuable as a piece of furniture, and they're not human? But why would you work so hard to keep them people down? Like, that don't make no sense to me. I don't know. I mean, make it make sense. It really don't make any sense. It really don't make any sense to me for that to be you know, it really don't. So I don't know. Yep. And I know she gonna bring in her callers and stuff like that, but yeah, that's just crazy. That's just crazy. I don't know. But I might play a little bit of that, but no, I'm not gonna do that. I'll just do that another time. I'll do that another time. I'll play um the thing about how she had debunked Jane Elliott talking about race and talking about how black people been treated so bad, but then you're gonna be against reparations. Like, man, you can't play with my emotions. Y'all, we gotta get out of that. We gotta get out of people showing us these movies and becoming trying to get us to vote for them and trying to get us to follow them, and they playing with our emotions and being able to discern these spirits and test the spirits and try them out and know if they really for us or they just about an agenda. You know what I'm saying? We can do it. We just have been taught to go look outside and go talk to somebody, and it's all within us. It's all within us. Yep. It's all within us. Sure is. So I'm gonna play a little more.
Our whole life in America, we're not here. We don't get listened to about what our life looks like, about our wealth level, about what we don't have access to. There are just people who make decisions for us and act and take over our agency, right? And that's the problem with politics. That's the problem with our politics. We don't even have any specificity or agency in our own politics. If we say, hey, I want to do something specifically for us, we're going to talk about what our agenda looks like. We're going to talk about reparations. People say, oh, no, you don't get to do that. You get to talk about whatever the Democrats are going to offer you. And if not, you are involved in voter suppression and you are not a part of the political system. Well, wait a minute, everybody else does it, but you don't get to do it. You don't get to do it. That's not what you get to do. You get to sit somewhere and shut up and vote blue no matter who. That's your life. That robs us of the agency to determine our own agenda and what we want that agenda to look like. Not what the Democrats want to look like, not what people of color want to look like, not what other people want. No, what do we get to be a self-led people? Every area of life, our agency is taken away from us. And what I'm saying is that you cannot take that agency back individually. That agency comes back to you through politics, and politics is a collective enterprise. And if we don't learn that, if we don't wrap our heads around, like I always say, we either rise together or fall together. We're gonna be in trouble. But if you all get a chance to, please, this whole article was good. The writer is on Substack. It was decent. So if you get a chance, check it out. I'm going to take a quick break. I will be back, and then I will take a few calls.
Well, y'all, this is crazy.